3, 2, 1, and we are live. My guest today is Fulton Wooten. Hello, Fulton.
Hey, Dr. Scott. Glad to be here.
I'm glad you're here. The reason why I have you here today is because you have a lot of experience on many levels with the issues that we're dealing with currently in America and around the world.
Yes.
You've been a multiple business owner. You are also in the medical device and medical industry, supply industry. And so you're very familiar of what's going on, how it's impacting people on multiple levels. And I'm very interested in hearing what you think about it and what your opinions are, and more so, what you think is going to happen over the next 3 months to 6 months.
Yes, well, thank you, Dr. Scott. As we said, glad to be here today. You know, we're in a different time, things that are taking place now we've never seen before, and we're on a new path, and we're looking at the next 3 months. We're looking to get this economy back up and running. We're looking to take care of patients, and we're looking to help people where they may have a need for care. During this time, we're seeing a lot of stem cell products come out and a lot of discussion around it with the coronavirus, and this is what we've been working toward for many years.
Absolutely. And I really love, we've been working with the stem cell regenerative medicine industry for the past 2 years together. It's phenomenal. There's also a new option out there coming out of another vaccine made in China. I'm going to ask you in a little bit what you think about that, whether you're going to be taking that vaccine. But ultimately, just to let everybody know who's listening, thank you for listening. Fulton, one of your greatest, two of your greatest accomplishments that I've been really impressed with over the years of getting to know you is you own a winery and you make your own wine. You're distributing, you've made hundreds of thousands of bottles of wine from your own vineyard. That's impressive.
Yes, well, that's just been we've enjoyed that as a hobby. The science behind fermenting and the process of creating a nice, delicious wine is always going to be a hobby. We'll never get away.
You're one of the first, if not the first, to acquire an agricultural hemp license in North Carolina. And you have a farm going right now. Very impressive.
Thank you.
For the medicinal use of cannabinoids and CBD products.
Yes, seeing amazing results in the CBD world, the hemp world, and the progression of what's taking place. We're just, we're loving life. We have a wonderful opportunity to work within the stem cell industry, the alternative and functional medicine that's taking place today, not the old school, you go to a doctor, MD, he diagnoses you and he writes a prescription. Those days of medicine are over. We're now looking for holistic, natural, and new ways to treat any ailment or what's taking place, even with the coronavirus. Agreed.
Yeah, he's right. We're helping out a lot of people, and I'm really thankful for the results that we're seeing. The phenomenal team at Advanced Medical. Fulton, you've seen what's going on over there.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable.
Yes, agreed.
Did you realize that over 75% of surgeries are down now? Well, surgical procedures, orthopedic surgical procedures are down 75% now during the coronavirus pandemic, because they're only doing surgeries that they think are 100% necessary. Don't you find that interesting?
Agreed, and we've seen it, from a first-hand experience. I have a family member who is recently going to have knee replacement surgery and have been put on the wait list. So while we're starting to see very few office visits within the orthopedic field take place and no inpatient surgeries taking place at all, people are looking for alternative measures. People still have pain. They still have inflammation. They still have issues that need to be addressed. And just because the economy is shut down and the ability to stay in the hospital is restricted, that doesn't mean that their pain stops. That doesn't mean that the inflammation and that patient's need has come to rest. It's actually more than it's ever been.
That's exactly right, because they're losing hope of getting out of pain. And I'll have to be honest with you, over the past couple of months, many businesses have gone down. They can't even be open. Many businesses have seen a reduction in business. Thank God at Advanced Medical, we've seen an increase because there are people still in pain. They can't find any alternatives. They do not want to go to the hospital, and I can completely understand that.
No.
And they understand, they've heard from their friends and the people in the community in the Myrtle Beach area that we take high measures to keep a corona-safe environment. And we are truly, that the team over there is truly getting people out of pain. Oftentimes very fast.
Yes.
And that's what really people are looking for. They're trying to get out of pain, and they want to get their life back.
Agreed.
It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal what people are doing. And so what's happening is we got an obstacle here that's turning into a great opportunity for a lot of people.
I'm going to agree with that statement. You know, we've been working together several years now. We've been in the regenerative biologic space. You know, everybody says stem cells. It gets much more in detail than just using the word stem cells, okay? We're using perinatal products. We're using stuff that's coming from scheduled C-sections. We have patients who have this need. We take all the measures to line up these mothers. We screen them. We pre-qualify them. We make sure that the products that we're bringing in to the patients meet the needs, and needless to say, FDA compliance is probably where we spend the most time trying to keep in line and stay on board with what meets the government and the FDA's requirement and also meets the patient's needs.
That's awesome. Here's what a lot of you might not realize. You might not realize that Fulton, Wooten, and I spent the entire year 2019 traveling up and down, to and fro, east, west, north, south, the entire country, making sure we create a powerful alliance not only with the best stem cell regenerative medicine labs in the country, but even more so the work that we did with the companies and the doctors involved to get in alignment and regulated with the FDA. We have created a partnership. Thanks to you. Thanks for everything that you've done on this. We created a partnership with the FDA to where we actually have FDA regulated and approved for insurance reimbursement for treatments in the regenerative medicine industry. And we're seeing great results for people.
Absolutely. We have been, and we will continue to see. Look, we're just in the beginning stages. This is a new environment. This is the gold standard. This is what's going to be taking place, not only now, but in the next few years, the next 10 years, and for the rest of everybody's listening's life. We're going to continue to see stem cells, or these regenerative biologics, surface, improve, and provide more benefit to all patients, okay? When we first started in this, you and I, it was a new beginning. We had a moratorium. The FDA back in 2017 opened up. It had been shut down for 20 years. For 20 years, anything to do in the stem cell industry was void. It was not there, okay? Finally, the FDA stepped up. They opened this moratorium. We took advantage of it. We saw the opportunity. We knew that patients had a need. We saw that healthcare was headed in this direction, and that's where we've been. We've been on the front line from the beginning, and we've done nothing but grow and expand this need for the patients and the products.
What's awesome is healthcare is definitely heading this direction like a turtle. Slow as hell. But I will tell you this, the people, the patients are headed in that direction fast. They're looking for pain relief.
The patients have been there.
Anywhere else.
Agreed. The patients
there.
have been there.
They're coming left and right faster than healthcare is changing. Why? The people are going to change healthcare. That's exactly what's happening right now with this whole coronavirus, etc. The politicians, the pencil pushers, the regulators, etc., they're going to do what they're going to do, just like healthcare is going to do what they're going to do. Unfortunately, it's going to be slower than what everybody needs, just like the economy. We got to open up the economy. We got to get back to work. People are losing their mind. They're losing their homes. They're losing their families. They're losing everything. And it's up to the people to take a stand, control their own life, and get back to work in spite of the slow-moving policyholders and pencil pushers that are getting a paycheck at the end of every week. People got to get back to work, and what's happening is people are going to drive it all. And that's what I love about our patients and the people that we see every day. They're choosing to take control of their health. They're not going to wait around on policymakers and pencil pushers to tell them how to get control of their life. They're taking responsibility. They're making the right decisions based on educated thought processes and information, and they're making the right decision to avoid more medications, avoid surgeries, and do these things that have been cleared and regulated but aren't necessarily the most popular thing, and not being told by their surgeon that this is an option before getting cut and sliced open. The people are pushing this, and the people are sick of all the BS. And that's why we're seeing such an influx in regenerative medicine. That's why this economy is going to build back up, because of the people listening right now. You are the ones with the power and the brains. Let's make it happen.
You know, Dr. Scott, you just said an awful lot in very few words there. Absolutely. The people always take the initiative. They always lead the market. Always remember, the FDA is going to be reactive instead of proactive. Okay? They're going to meet the needs of the people and the environment to keep it safe. Their whole job is to keep it safe.
That's right.
Our job is to change the mold. All these people have been used to seeing MDs. They go to a doctor, he diagnoses, he prescribes a medication, and he sends them home. You and I and everybody out there knows that is not the best path, okay?
I've been down that path. It didn't work for me.
We all have. We all have. Each person has to take their own health care as their responsibility to get involved, okay? Participate in their health care, work with somebody who understands their needs and helps them meet their needs, so that the benefit is a reduction in pain, a reduction in inflammation, and an increase in ADLs, as you and I know as activities of daily living. We are looking to keep people active. We are looking to keep people enjoying their life, and it's an overall package. It's mental, it's physical, and it's psychological. We need all three at once to be healthy.
What happens is we have this accumulation of life. Everybody has life. We're doing this, we're doing that. We're running here, we're running there, and what I see is for a lot of people, a lot of patients that come in, finally, after ignoring the little pains and the aches over a year, 5 years, 10 years, even 15 years, it all starts catching up. And there's little aches here, the little ache in the shoulder starts connecting with the little ache in the back and the neck, the little ache in the knee. And what happens is it all starts catching up, and then someone finally thinks, oh, I'm falling apart. Everything's falling. Well, you're not falling apart. You've just been living a life that takes wear and tear. Wear and tear. You've done as much as you could to keep it going, but now you're at the point to where something's got to be done. And up until now, there's never been another option. If your knee's degenerating and inflamed, if it's bone on bone, you're going to surgery. There's never been another option until now.
And we've seen that, managing expectations is the largest part of what we do. When you go to a doctor and he says you need a knee replacement, guess what? That's not necessarily accurate. That may be just because that's what he does best.
And okay? It could be an option. It's definitely an option.
And at some point it is. But why don't we go ahead and address that issue way well long before it's time to have surgery? Why start with surgery?
Well, even if surgery is on the table, okay? Oftentimes it's on the table sooner than it needs to be, but it's still now with regenerative medicine, It is not the only option on the table.
Oh no, not at all.
It's not the only option.
It's the last option.
It is the last option.
Agreed.
On the table. Please give me another option. Instead of getting my knee cut open, instead of pulling out my whole shoulder girdle and trying to stick this artificial stuff in there and get me back 6 months to 6 years from now. No, thank you. I'm not interested.
No.
Give me the good stuff.
Me either. And, cortisone. We hear about all these cortisone injections. Cortisone is not the best product to be injected with. Cortisone has a very degradative property. You can only have so many within a year. And if you're diabetic, it's spiking your sugar level to start with. Okay? That should be contraindicated. But we're not seeing that done. We're seeing people get injected with cortisone because it gives a very short-term relief, and they walk out of the office and they're feeling a little better the next day. Why don't we look at a long-term approach? Why don't we look at the regenerative biologics? Why don't we look at regenerating that cartilage, that tissue, the damage to the joints, so that it is permanent, or at least much more sufficient than in the benefit of what that patient needs long term. We're looking at the long term, not just short term.
I'll tell you why it's short term. Why is everybody getting cortisone injections? Well, number one, they don't understand the dangers of it. Like you just said, it severely accelerates degeneration, causes other systemic conditions in the body, like blood sugar levels, blood pressure levels. They're not really aware of that. At the same time, when you're in pain, I don't care. get me out of pain. I do not care. Blood sugar, I don't care. Get me out of pain, okay? And I understand that. The great part is now there's another option. There is another option. And also, let's just face it, everybody listening right now, you know your insurance is going to cover that cortisone injection. So you don't have to pay for it. It might get you out of pain and you're dying. They're going to do it all day, every day. I just had a consultation with a lady a week ago. She's had 15 cortisone injections in the past 2 years. And if you know anything about cortisone and the time frame, I think we kind of went over the limit there. I don't know because I hadn't seen the records and I'm not claiming anything, but I do know one thing. She's not better. And that's a lot of cortisone. And I don't mind people trying to get out of pain and doing things to get rid of pain. Hey, I'm the first one. I can't handle pain. I can't handle pain, son. If I'm in pain, get me out of pain. I cannot handle it. However, now there's another option. Now there's another option, even potentially insurance reimbursed option to help people get out of pain. So that's what's on the table now. There are other options now with the advancements in science, the advancements in biology, and the advancements in the work that you and I personally did last year in the partnership with the FDA, getting approval for products, regenerative medicine, to be able to take care of our patients right here in Myrtle Beach.
Yes, once again, you said a lot in a very few words. We have worked with the FDA for a long period of time. We have continued to mold and create a model that works well with the business and for the patients, okay? As you speak about insurance reimbursement, this is the most exciting thing we've seen. For the years we've worked together, the insurance has not caught up with the patient's needs and what the patients need to get, okay? But you and I have finally come together. We have found the opportunity and the products that these patients need that insurance will pay for, okay? That is the most exciting news you and I have discussed in the whole time we've been working together. There's never been anything better. It's never been a better opportunity. And the best part about it is it will only get better.
It's only getting better.
It's only getting better.
In the worst time we've ever seen in the world, it's only getting better. Appreciate that. He's right. We got a lot going on. We're talking about helping people avoid surgery and get out of pain, but we also got a lot of stuff going on. The vitamin infusions are my favorite. They give me energy. I am an energy junkie. How am I going to stop working? I can't stop working. I got too much energy. Thank God we've been able to work and been able to serve and help people out. I love the work.
Absolutely. Who doesn't? If you don't, you're headed in the wrong times for these times that we're in today. As you said, IV cocktails, the vitamin infusions, these are things that just add, these supplements, they're straight to the blood system, they're immediate, they have a huge impact, they increase the energy level, the overall wellness and filling of the body. That's what we're looking for. We all want to live these healthy lives. We work so hard to reach this retirement age, okay? And once we get to it, once we're ready to enjoy it, we need to be healthy, okay? And that's what you and I are here for, is to help these people see that and enjoy that, because the world is a different place right now. We've never seen anything like this before.
Well, we got people working hard to stay healthy. We got people getting out of pain. And then we got fraudulent Fauci on the TV every morning, tell everybody to be afraid,
stay home,
don't work,
kill this economy,
kill the economy. If you stay home and you're not out in the air and around people, you're not strengthening your immune system, you're actually weakening your immune system. So you got an expert saying this, who's in bed with the World Health Organization, who knows what's got going on with China. You got all this going on, and now he and Mr. Gates, Bill Gates, wants to give me a vaccine based on all that information to help kill off a virus that I know my body can kill off on its own anyway, as long as I have a strong immunity. So what is going on out there? Where's the truth? Where's the freedom? The only thing I can think of, that the only option we have, we got to stay healthy.
You know
you gotta
what?
stay healthy.
Yes, you do. And for those who are immunocompromised, then maybe there is a slight risk.
That's exactly right.
And let's go ahead and identify that. But everything else, it's far stretched. It's overstretched, and they're selling fear. And you know what? Fear is not what we need right now. What we need is the American spirit, the American dream, and the American institution to act as it has always been. You know, capitalism offers that opportunity to go get what we want out of life. We are not told what we have to do. We are not led. We do not have to fit into a mold or box. We get to create. Okay? And this is the best opportunity to start creating our own world, our own America, and working together as a unit to keep America great, as it has always been.
Well, let's just say, like, we don't have to create it. It's already there. However, it is trying to be taken away from us. And unfortunately, the power of the media, hell, we're on the media right now, all right? But these big corporate-owned media companies continue to play only one thing every morning and every night, which is instilling fear in every individual.
Desperation.
Every parent. Now, we know their ratings are poor. We know their ratings are poor, and we also know their ratings get better by selling fear and controversy and argumentative comments. We know that. So why are we feeding into it? It's just part of the system. And that's why I think the only hope we have, and the only hope everybody listening has, you're an individual. You are the only thing you can control, and that's where it's at. You got to control your own life, and you got to control your health, or you're in trouble.
Yes, if you don't take control, somebody else will. And we're continuing to see that over and over. As we said before, it is your responsibility to not only control your health care, but direct its direction. You have to determine which direction you want to go, what you believe is going to be best for you, your family, your body, and your life.
You got to know what's true. You know, you can't be an idiot. If you're an idiot and a fool, you're going to have to follow whoever you're listening to. And oftentimes, if you don't know what's going on, if you're not somewhat learned or at least open to other ideas of what's really happening, if you're not knowledgeable, you're in trouble to start with. Okay, you're gonna have to follow and trust somebody else, and that's okay to not know about it, because oftentimes I think that's where President Trump got in trouble. I mean, whether you're a fan of President Trump or not, let's just realize they have been swinging on him since day one, and they are swinging and swinging. And they're swinging on him right now. And they caught him with a right hook that he did not know what was coming, because President Trump, whether you like him or not, he don't have a clue. Now, he loves America, we can tell, and he wants the best for people, but he does not have a clue about microbiology. He does not have a clue about viruses, and the only thing he knows about healthcare is that the pharmaceutical industries are full of BS.
You know what?
And they caught him. And now he doesn't really know what to do. He doesn't know who to follow. He's back and forth, and he's being set up one way or another at a perfect prime time for an election for to chop his legs right out from under him. He doesn't know. And now he's subject to following who's supposed to be the leader in that industry, who is Pharma Fauci. Pharma Fauci, you know how many patents he owns for vaccines with his boy Billy Gates?
Well, I know I don't, but let me tell you what I do know. And let me tell you what I do know about this current administration and what Trump has done. Trump has given us the right to try. Okay? He has created a situation that when a patient and a physician agree upon a type of treatment, he says it's okay to try it. You know, these people are terminal. These people don't stand a chance of living according to modern medicine. And the right to try is really what brought you and I together, because stem cells started growing. The word stem cell caught on. It was like a fire. It caught on like a blazing fire, like nothing we've ever seen before. People have heard about this. They've heard about it on TV. They've watched the movie. Stem cells, it's where it's at. It's where it's coming from. Well, Trump opened the doors. Let me rephrase that. President Trump opened the doors and said, as a patient, you have the right to try. And the stem cell industry gained immediate strength, and it has not slowed down yet. So the opportunity for the right to try has opened the doors. We're seeing the FDA come out daily daily and tell us that we're seeing new treatments approved by the FDA. We're seeing new tests approved by the FDA. Does that represent somebody who's not trying, who doesn't care? Absolutely not. That represents the heart of America. That represents who we are and where we want to be.
Well, what he's clearly saying, and this is not a surprise to anybody listening right now, you know for a fact the healthcare, we are not the healthiest country in the world, and our healthcare system, even before now, take coronavirus out, okay? Take personal protection products out, equipment, take all that out. Before this, we're talking October of last year, we're one of the sickest countries in the world. We spend more money than anybody else on healthcare. It's obvious our healthcare system is a disaster. We have over 60,000 people a year dying from opioids. We got over half of the American population obese, with the number one cause of death is heart disease. It's no new news that the healthcare system is disastrous and people are not getting healthy, and we all know it's being driven by pharmaceutical drugs. That's where the money's at. That's where the big players are at, and they use us as a means to accomplish that goal. Here's the deal. Now we're running into a huge virus pandemic, whether it started in a meat market or it started in a lab in China, who are next door to each other. Call it a coincidence. Do you really believe in coincidences like that? I doubt it. But nonetheless, we have, whether it's biological warfare or just a natural occurrence of Mother Nature taking its place in our society and around the world, we're not ready for it. Obviously, the healthcare system in America before this and currently during this is a disaster for the people. But the people on top, the corporations, the pharmaceutical industries, fraudulent Fauci, Bill Gates, and all the vaccine makers, they are making a fortune, and they don't just want to be billionaires, they want to be trillionaires. And it's going to be at the expense of the people. And I'm not okay with that.
No, and I'm going to be honest, I'm glad this is something you brought up. I'm glad this is something that you've mentioned, and I'm glad it's something we get to discuss. Okay? We see the control, we see the power at the top, and here we are. We're the small guys on the bottom. We're trying to help people naturally. We're trying to see things change, and that's what you and I are here to do. We're here to help patients. We're here to show them there is a different path, there is a better way, and we're going to help them find that.
Well, it's already happening. Fulton, Wooten, I want to thank you for everything you've done for me and everything you can continue to do for the community.
Dr. Scott.
I appreciate that. We're running out of time, and I want to thank all the listeners for listening, and I'll see you next week.
Thank you.